In New York at SVG's 2019 Sports Content Management Forum, Brandon Costa reporting for SVG. We have the pleasure now to be joined by Jason Marshall from Yes Network here in New York. Jason, great to see you. How you doing?
To see you. How's it going?
Great. You have a really, really fascinating presentation here at the event here today, talking about your virtualization of the facility backup in Stanford. It was a project that you guys took up pretty much all of 2018 doing. It's done. It's happening. For those who maybe aren't familiar with the project, take us through a little bit what it was like, and maybe what were some of the challenges that you faced along the way.
Sure. So some of the planning goes to trying to figure out how you're going to get all of your data written and repacked, and what you need to do with it. So you have virtual machines. You need to keep them somewhere, right? We chose to keep them on-prem, and we want them to work as quickly as possible and to write the data as quickly as possible. And in doing that, we kind of leveraged a few different things with virtualization, namely vSAN and namely 12 gig SAS storage. Putting that into play has exponentially increased every objective that we were trying to do, including repacking our data to LTO, which we were talking about on the panel. And another thing is to be able to kind of reach out to all these solutions that everybody's talking about. A big flavor of the week is AI, right? And to be able to reach out to that, all of these solutions allow you to do it. You don't need to be stuck with purpose-built servers that kind of sit in a rack and don't do anything except for what they're going to do. I can change that. I can bolt on new solutions. I could try, like we were talking about with Avid, I could try to have one solution for their Media Central, which is the old flavor, and the new flavor comes out. I don't need to buy a new server to do it. So I put it right up next to the other one. The index searching and the elastic search that everybody's been talking about today, which is fantastic, and it is the future, that is all at hyper speeds compared to what they're doing with spinning disks and reaching out to external storage, which was another thing that we tried to abolish, which we did. That external storage now sits as spinning disks. It's a third tier, and we put all of our data backups there and all of our data that's not within reach that you need to have right away. That doesn't need to kind of process the speed that it does. But the speed that we're getting at, which we mentioned before, at about 1 gigabyte per second, is real. And I would suggest anybody that's trying to build a virtual farm, no matter what their flavor, to absolutely leverage 12 gig SAS storage. It will be eventually outshined by NVMe, but it's expensive right now, and there are some challenges. But what we got accomplished in a short period of time during the rollout was incredible for us. I mean, we really got to do things a lot faster than we anticipated, which is always a treat.
That's wild. Yeah, I mean, it can. I'm sure it can be scary to go out and be one of the first to do something like that at such a grand scale. But having gone through it, in addition to maybe a couple of the points that you had there, if there is someone out there watching now who maybe is considering this, or an organization is considering it, is there anything that you faced along the way that maybe you would do differently, or something that you would advise someone taking those first steps to consider?
It's a great question. I would have them consider their vendors. And is that vendor going to give you any pushback on doing it the way that you would like to accomplish your objective, right? So clustering and certain things like that. Do you back up your machines? How do you back them up? How often do you back them up? Are you going to need to change course at any point? And you will have that leverage. So my suggestion is to speak to your vendors, make sure that that you're compliant with their solutions, and once you get past that point, roll with it. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to write data really quickly. I don't know if everybody would agree with that, but for me, it was.
Hey, if we can't geek out about this stuff here, where can you geek out about it, right?
Thank you.
All right, well, Jason, congratulations on it. Thanks so much for sharing your expertise with us as well.
Appreciate your time, Brendan. Thank you.
All right. For everything else going on here at the SVG Sports Content Management Forum, check us out over at the site at sportsvideo.org.